Hi everyone, welcome to financialexpress.com special budget series. Providing 24/7 power pan-India is one of Narendra Modi government's pet schemes. But it's a daunting task. Just recently, a village in Chhattisgarh got electricity for the first time since independence. To understand better what it will take for India to take that giant leap, we have with us Sambitosh Mohapatra. He is the leader for power and utilities at PwC. Hi Sam.
Hi.
So sir, tell me one thing, what is it that the budget can do to make sure that this particular pet project of the government takes off and is a reality?
Okay, I would not limit it to the budget. So budget only allocates financial resources to it.
Right.
I am sure that the PET program has appropriate financial allocation which has happened. The government has already undertaken this journey of electrifying all the villages. So I think they are very fairly confident of where these households are, mostly around 8 states, 100 districts, where they want to electrify them.
Right.
So we are fairly confident that the target should be achieved, give or take a couple of months here and there. That's one. Regarding the 24/7 reliable power that we're talking about, it's not March 19, but we are hopeful that by March 22, which is 3 years post the electrification and access,
Right.
I think customers would be having reliable and quality power.
Okay, great. But there was this concept that the government had proposed, I think while the political rallies were on about how customers should be able to choose the power distributor. So do you think that's going to be a game changer for the sector?
It's absolutely, and it is something which is much needed, because if you look at some of the promises which this government made in 2014 was about providing choice to customers and ensuring that competition comes into the last leg, which is distribution.
Right.
Unless these two things are, I think, provided for, and the sector viability would not improve. That's one. Second, we were also very clear that the amendment to the Act, which was, I think, in discussions, and we were hopeful that it would get passed in this winter or in the next session, is where, apart from, giving choice to customers, bringing in competition to the sector through the content and carriage segregation, we were also hopeful that the state electricity regulatory commissions would get strengthened, because unless these regulatory bodies get strengthened and do their jobs properly, a customer cannot expect reliable quality power at affordable prices.
Okay, great. And what about this whole plan of digitizing power supply, the concept of introducing smart meters? How is that going to help in the whole scheme of things?
It's a very interesting thing. I think post the Uday scheme, it was very clear that smart meter would be a game changer, and we seriously believe, all the sector professionals, we seriously believe that until and unless you measure something, you cannot build them and you cannot get the collections right. And so some start has happened. I think 50 lakh meters have got procured, and implementation issues will emerge. And post that, we hope that all 200 million customers of Indian power utilities will get smart meters. What it also does is, post the implementation of smart meters, you will get an accurate measurement of how the demand and the load profile of each customer groups are.
Right.
That would also fit into the fact that once you know the demand profile of a customer, and then a utility, and then a state, and then for the country, you will appropriately make power procurement strategies accordingly. So what I'm saying is, you then need not have base load stations meeting peak load, and with renewable coming into the grid, how you appropriately make power procurement strategies across various fuels, across various time period of the day, would become very important.
Okay, and has this Uday scheme, which was said to be one of the biggest the reforms, power sector reforms, has it effectively addressed the concerns of DISCOMs?
It has to an extent, but let me say that if the DISCOM cost structure is 100, Uday, what it did is, it at least brought the cost structure down from 100 to a 96. Okay, so which means you got some benefit there. But please understand that the cost recovery of this cost was at the 80% level. Okay, so therefore you still have a gap from 96 to 80 which has to be addressed, and this 80 to 96 is nothing but inefficiency of DISCOMs. To an extent, I would say that tariff under recovery or the disallowances by regulatory commissions are about 3 to 4. So I would still take the 80 to 84, but from 96 to 84, it is still about inefficiency of discoms. And that's where we are very clear that until and unless you get competition in, you get the latest management practices in, these discoms will not change. And let me take a cue and say, you know the average age of these discom employees, it's about 48, 50. So these discoms have not even recruited the latest skills which are required. So I would say that a lot of work needs to be done in improving the operational efficiency management processes in these discoms. And but being a concurrent subject, a central government can do only as much. So I would hope that the state government start aligning itself with the central government policies and focus on the operational efficiencies of these discoms.
Okay, world over focus is shifting to renewable energy. So where is the India renewable energy story position right now? Where do you expect it to be from here on?
No, it's been a very great story, I would say. If you look at what we have achieved in last 3 years, it has been significant in terms of what, be it solar, be it wind and all. And I think government is making the right noises, utilities are buying, regulators are responding to the challenges which renewable addition is putting up. So I see there as a positive. And this government has been responsive. So let me be honest in admitting that. So when they see certain issues plaguing any part of the value chain, I think they address it swiftly. So therefore, we see the story going strong and India meeting all the commitments that we made in Paris. So be it in carbon footprint and all. So therefore, I see that story going strong.
Okay. Thank you, Sam. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Electricity is a very important part of the infrastructure drive overall, and in the coming days and years, India can definitely expect to see 24/7 electricity, but for that a lot needs to be in place, as Sam rightly pointed out. Thank you.